And APB, American Protection Bureau, voted #1 best on Long Island for all your security needs. Call 631-390-9050. That's 631-390-9050. APB.
And so 2020, I graduated, and NXT, they weren't hiring because COVID shut the place down. And I think that's when they were doing like a lot of releases or something like that. So I was like, all right, I got a criminal justice degree. I wanted to do Secret Service but in order to do Secret Service, I needed to have 2 full years of like an actual job. Like going to a college, you couldn't really have a job because you're locked in on your schooling and wrestling. And so I went on to work in a prison. So I was working in the what's it called? What was the prison I was working? It was a level Stillwater prison. It's a level 4 prison. I was working at there for 7 months, and as I was working there, like the NXT was starting to open up a lot more and starting to hire people and stuff like that. So it's funny, a funny story with Triple H. Me and my brother, we were on the Zoom call with him, and we were just talking about like the hiring process, and he was just talking about NXT and stuff like that, introducing himself more on a personal level. Great guy, owe him everything. And it was funny because I worked a double shift that day, and during that break is when he scheduled the Zoom call with me and my brother. And I was like, oh crap, it's my break, and I can only be here for so long. But I was like, it's also Triple H. No, I'm not trying to. No, I got to pick one, Triple H, or hurry up and get back in there for my shift. And so I was I was in the parking lot on my break in between shifts, because like keep in mind, in the prison they need 5 guards in each cubicle, whatever the hell it was called, for them to like do rounds and like check on inmates and stuff like that. So they couldn't really start working until I was in there, because it's like a safety thing, whatever. So I'm in the parking lot. I'm on the Zoom call with Triple H. So I'm pushing my time. I got like 15 minutes break. And of course, the Zoom call, right? Something goes wrong with the Zoom call, so it pushes my time. It's like 20 minutes late already. So I'm already 20 minutes late to go back inside. And I'm like, screw it. I'm staying on this phone with Triple H. And so the Zoom call finally happens. We start talking and stuff like that. And I'm getting called on my radio, like, Officer Stevenson, you need to report back to the unit. So I was sitting there. I turned it down a little bit, and I was like, all right, turn that down a little bit. So we're talking to Triple H. He's just talking about the business and he's talking about everything he does and stuff like that. And I was like, oh yeah. Like, I'm really into Triple H. It's like freaking Triple H, and it's pretty cool. Like looking at him on my phone, And then I get another one, Officer Stevenson, you need to report back to your unit. I'm like, nope, screw that, not going. And then it was funny because then all of a sudden they like blew up on me on my walkie-talkie I had. Officer Stevenson, we need to report back to the unit now. And I was like, damn it. And I told Triple H, I'm like, hey man, I'm so sorry. I gotta go. Like, I'm kind of on the clock right now. I pushed my break back literally. I was only supposed to be out there for like 15 minutes, and I swear I was out there for like 40. And I definitely got a strike. Like, I definitely got a strike from working in the prison. That was like strike one. And I was like, man, I'm not missing.
Wait a minute, you couldn't pull the Triple H call? Like, hey, boss, I was on the phone with Triple H. Come on.
No, it was like Triple H. I was like, it was funny because a lot of people that worked in the prison were fans and stuff like that. And then, so like the thing was, I was like, I'm not going back inside, like, because like it was the call that we've been waiting for to like actually get a conversation going, because like I mentioned COVID, and I was like, finally we got it, we got the call set up, and then I was like, crap, I got scheduled, and like it was during like towards the end of COVID, so like there weren't that many officers there because they were pretty short staffed anyways, and this was after like all the big stuff that happened in Minnesota, so no one wanted to do law enforcement. And I was like, yeah, this was like the call. I was like, I'm not missing this. Like, I'll get fired on the spot to stay on the phone with Triple H. But it worked out.
Yeah,
it worked out.
Did Triple H know that You're on the phone with him. He's talking to you about Braun Breaker or something. Meanwhile, they're sharpening shanks.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
So it was one of those things.
Hey, priorities, brother. Priorities.
I'm not
I
going
would have done the same thing. I would have.